What are you doing, Tina?
What are you doing, Jenny?
We are two women living our best lives in the Black Hills of South Dakota, sharing our stories, laughs, and projects happening in the garage.
Whether you're looking for a bit of joy, a spark of creativity, or just a comforting voice, you can find it here. Unicorn!
Welcome to the Unicorn Projects.
Boom,
Good
boom!
morning.
Boom, boom, shakalaka.
That's right.
I feel like I've been up I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning. Couldn't go back to sleep.
And when I woke up at 5:30, like 10 minutes after she left, I'm walking across the bedroom floor, headed to the bathroom, and I see this little white tablet on the white marble floor of our bathroom. Mm-hmm. And I take a picture of it and send it to Jenny.
I was like, oh, that's my sleep medicine.
That's
Good thing the dog didn't get it or something.
yeah.
So good to know I still need that.
So no wonder you didn't sleep.
No
At least you
wonder.
didn't get a dud.
That's true.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I get a dud.
Before we started recording, Tina
Yeah.
was saying,
Yeah, I like to play this game, and I do it.
let's teach it.
I do it all the time.
This is so fun.
Throughout the day, several times a day. And it's, what song you got? Because I always have music in my head.
Me too.
So I'm asking you, Jenny, what song do you have?
Pink Pony Club.
Atta girl. Atta girl.
Amy, what do you got?
Whose bed have your boots been under by Shania Twain?
Oh, yes. I love that. That's a
don't
good
know
one,
why.
too. That's a good one, too.
What song do you have, Tina?
Mine, I can't, it's not on my phone anymore. I was going to play a clip of it because it's so.
I heard you playing it.
You did. Yeah, it's Meet Me in the Middle. Why don't you just meet me in the middle?
Wow.
Damn.
Didn't know she could sing, too.
High up even.
It's called my falsetto.
Oh, is it?
High up.
Don't quit your day job. Oh, wait.
Oh, wait. We haven't talked about that yet.
Yes.
Tina doesn't have a day job.
We're in a trust fall.
Yeah, we
We're in the
are
trust
big
fall.
time. Big time.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, we
I
can
think
totally talk about it.
Yeah, I think we should talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll play our phone call at the end because I think we just need to go into it.
Yeah, June 23rd. Normal day. Pop into work, and there are weird Teams messages going back and forth between people. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what is happening? And then I get an invite, like a calendar invite, from my boss's boss. And I'm like, what is going on? And I talk to him pretty regularly, and I'm a super fan of him and vice versa. He's just an amazing human. So long story short, that calendar invite gets deleted, and there's a new calendar invite. And now there's like 5 people, and an HR representative, Camille, who I absolutely adore. She is one of the most lovely humans you could ever want to meet. And after 11 years at NBC, I was laid off with 53 other people.
Like her whole division.
Like, yeah. So a little backstory. Golf Now, Fandango, Sports Engine, all funnel up to the NBC Universal umbrella of Comcast. And they are splintering off. So all of the NBC media, your television stations and programming, all of your news, your CNBC, MSNBC, all, USA Network, all of those things, Sports Engine, Fandango, and the Golf Now, NBC Sports Next business unit are all moving to a new company called Versant. And there's been quite a bit of information released in the news over the last couple of months. They've announced their board of directors, which is just a powerhouse of human beings. Mm-hmm. And they're prepping for an IPO. Like, I get it. I've never been through anything like this. So, it took me by surprise. I had no idea that it was happening, that it was coming. They were very gracious with a severance package.
Thank goodness.
That doesn't put us in a state of panic, right? And so we've just had this opportunity to pause and really define where we are in life in this phase. You know, we've had a little bit of success on the social media front. We've really been pushing and working hard on the podcast front, and we're very passionate about both of those things. But as with all things that a person is passionate about, they generally take a back seat to day-to-day life. And that's job and family and you know, responsibilities that a human has. So we had been talking for months and months prior to this, dreaming. And to use Jenny's phrase, she's teaching me how to manifest, right? She has been manifesting this and putting this information out into the universe and saying I am or we are instead of I hope or I wish statements. And lo and behold, I think that was part of why this has happened. And it's
really like, have you ever prayed for something and your prayer gets answered, but it wasn't in the way that you were envisioning, and you're like, wait a second. Like, okay, God, you answered my prayer, but I didn't think it would look like this.
Yeah, the rollout was not quite what we had anticipated or planned.
2 months before Tina loses her job, I do a lot of guardianship conservatorship, and there's a Supreme Court ruling in the state of South Dakota that comes out that says LLCs like mine can't be people's guardian conservator. It was a very narrow interpretation of the law. It wasn't anything I did wrong. It was just, it's a statute that needs reform.
Yep.
And so, you know, that news came to me at the end of April or the end of March. And I've been in the process of transferring all my guardianships and conservatorships over to Sequel Incorporated, which is the nonprofit that I founded, and training all of those ladies on guardianship, conservatorship, and getting up to speed with that. But what that's done is it's obviously, you know, changed the trajectory of my business. But in doing that, it's freed up some time. And so it's almost like God said, okay, girls, here's 6 months. See what you can do. Which I love, because I think if you're going to fail, we should fail fast. Fail fast and then decide what we need to do to, you know, figure it out. But, you know, my therapist asked me an interesting question, which was, if you weren't pushed off the cliff, would you have jumped? And I said, no.
No way.
I'm a Gen Xer. We're very responsible. We're like, you know.
You don't leave a job unless you have another job.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And so the answer is no. So then the day that Tina tells me, she asked me to meet her at the park, which she never does. Like in the middle of a workday, I knew something was amiss. And thankfully, it wasn't anybody's health or, you know, something terrible like that. So I was almost relieved when she told me she got laid off. And my initial reaction is I just started laughing.
She died laughing.
I started laughing hysterically. And Tina's
in the most loving way. Like,
but in the most loving way. And I just said, welcome to the trust fall, honey. Like, here we go.
Like, this is, and it was so true. You know, even up until today, there has been no panic, you know, and I'm grateful that we are in a position where there isn't this hurried response and this frantic, like, holy shit, what am I going to do? The first week, I didn't do much of anything. It was I was very zen, you know. I had a lot of conversations with people that I worked with, you know, checking on them, letting that, like, everything is going to be fine. And I truly felt that then, and I feel that now, that it is going to be okay. We are where we're meant to be, and we couldn't have gotten here on our own. We wouldn't have made the decision to really go all in. We just are too responsible.
To get to something new, you have to get rid of something old.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's crazy how when we freed up that space in our lives, like the vacant space is alarming at first, but you have to allow it in order for other things to flow into it. And so now I think we're on the way.
Mm-hmm. I agree. We've got some good opportunities ahead of us, and some connections that we've made. And I really do believe that
We got our first paying job.
Yes.
Yeah. And Jenny and I have been saying this probably since March, right before the Supreme Court hearing, that we can feel it. It's like this internal thing that we feel, but it's also the energy around us.
Mm-hmm.
We feel that we are on the cusp of something. Like we are about to crest, and then it's a speedway. And I can't explain it.
I feel it too.
Do you?
Yes, and watching you guys from the outside, it's just like, when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? Like, we're just we're soaring, you know?
Yeah.
And
That's how it feels.
Or we're on the runway and we're getting ready to take off.
And I think
that's the feeling.
And when I was younger, I might have been more in a hurry to get through that. And now I feel so much more equipped for this season of life, because life is uncertainty. Like, even when you think you have certainty, it's an illusion. Like, all any of us have is this one moment, this today, like whatever. But I don't want to discount all of the feelings that both of us have gone through as a result of, kind of these changes and how we've navigated them. And for me, a lot of it is about grief. It's sort of going through these stages of grief and then reintegrating something new into what's always been. And, as we get older, that gets more uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And so it's taken me a minute to, and I've had some very, bless you, sweetheart.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I've had some periods of, very disorganized thought, can't lock in, can't focus, like the middle of the mess sort of feeling. And that has been not fun. Like, nobody likes that sort of spin, where you just are sorting things out, but nothing is certain, that uncomfortable not knowing. And that's taken some work for me in therapy, to be able to get there faster, to get to a place of integration faster.
Yeah, but look at how you conquered it all, from the reform to Tina losing her job to getting sick, and you guys are like, I'm fine.
What's funny
next?
too?
What's next is really,
yeah.
I want you to finish that thought, but the what's next is really how we're made. God made us looking forward, and it's okay to look backward if you're looking back to reflect and to learn, but to look back and question, be angry, be stuck, try to move that direction, I just don't see the benefit in those things.
Oh, Jenny's getting out a book.
Well,
Yeah.
I want to read something. So I thought this was really cool, and it really kind of puts a period at the end of kind of grief, which is, when we're here on this earth, if you knew this was your last day on earth, how would you answer the following questions? What would you want to see? What would you want to hear? What would you want to touch or feel? What would you want to taste? And what would you want to smell? If this was your last day on earth. And
Wow, read that again, please.
yeah. So what would you want to see? What would you want to hear? what would you want to touch or feel? What would you want to taste? And what would you want to smell?
Wow.
Yeah. And I think that one of the things that's helped me the most is like the mindfulness to stay in my day. You know, you can get so far off the beam when you're thinking about so many things like out into the future, which is uncertain and unknown. And one thing I like to think in my mind to try to bring myself back is, you're going to die and I'm going to die. And all we have is this moment. Changes your whole day.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to die here.
In this podcast studio?
No.
Maybe.
No.
In this world.
In this,
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
And I do think that there's a time and place to do all the things that are outside, you
Yeah.
know,
Mm-hmm.
to be creative in that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I do also feel that most people get so far ahead of themselves and outside of themselves that creates chaos. You know, I say clutter creates clutter.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's part of the reason why I didn't panic. Like there,
Right.
and I have yet to. There is no panic.
Yes.
It is all going to be okay. It really is.
One way or the other, right? And so we're just answering, who knew at this age that we would be in a position to even contemplate something like this? It's not something either one of us saw coming. But kind of as we've grown our community and grown the podcast and grown this collection of beautiful humans, it is where my passion is now. And I'm ready to pass the torch on, the work that I've been doing the last 10 years because, man, I'm so excited about our future.
Yeah, same.
And about working together.
Yeah, Jenny's my favorite person to spend any sort of time with. And, my heart longs for her during the day. And in a normal day, a normal work day, we really do not speak to one another. There may be an exchange or two of text, but previously we have both been so busy with what we do that, we say goodbye in the morning and then I wait for her to get home at night so we could take a bath and download what we've each been doing. And I've looked forward to that because I miss her. And now to have these pockets of time where she has a free window and we can sit in front of a whiteboard or we can...
Your whiteboard of life, because this is this is your life. You're living your life.
Yeah, like it intertwined.
And
Like our life and our passion translated.
They're now aligned.
Yes.
And everybody's watching your life
Yeah.
on TikTok, on the podcast. You're just living,
Right.
but
And
working.
it's-
And a lot of people
Together.
they don't get that opportunity to have your passion and your life and the things that you dream about align. And how we were lucky before, but we are really freaking lucky. And yes, there's a lot of uncertainty. There's uncertainty in content creation. You have no idea what your take home, what the net is every day. At the end of the month, there's still bills that need to be paid. But we have talked about this, Jenny and I have talked about this so many times.
Yeah.
It's a feeling, Amy. I'm not worried about it. It will take care of itself. I really believe that.
What does that feeling feel like?
Like first day of school jitters for me.
Yeah. And it's a sense of peace. Like there's excitement.
Like anxiousness?
Like happy, anxious though. Like happy, excited.
Like you're looking forward to something. Like there's the anticipation
like
for
it's
sure.
your birthday tomorrow. Like that feeling.
But you're not worried. Like it's not a fear. It's not anxiety driven. There's no negativity tied to it for me. And look, like I have been offered positions already to come or go and do things, and there's a very good chance that a position will open back up at NBC. And in fact, I've had some of those conversations already, and I'm not going to close any door. But here's a fun fact, having now just said that. At the beginning of the year, we always did this exercise with our team, and Rick, my boss, had always had us pick, like, what's your word of the year, right? Like, people do that, like almost like a New Year's resolution. Do you know what my word of the year was for this year?
Boom shakalaka?
Nope.
What was it?
Door.
Door.
And it made no sense to anybody. Everybody else is using, like, centered, mindfulness, success, things like that are business driven.
Words,
right. Yeah. The poster words. And I think I was one of the last people to go. And when I said door, they're like, what? And I said, yeah, door.
Explain.
So for me in January, on the front end of this, I knew, I don't know why I knew, but I knew that there were going to be doors that open, doors that close, possibility, things that don't serve me, things that I'm excited about that I need to go learn or achieve. And the word for me was door. And how apropos.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the next door is?
Ooh, great question. In a few weeks here, we have an opportunity to go to Sioux Falls to Minnehaha Country Club and film content for the week for ProLink Sports. And they do a number of sporting events, golf tournaments around the country through the year. And they're, social media and YouTube in particular, TikTok, has made golf cool again. And as a lifelong student of the game, and not just golf as a sport, but the decorum of what golf is, but yet to have this, playful side and this playful nature of, I'm going to be 12 soon. I think that that's a very strong possibility of the path that we go.
To be revealed. We don't even know.
We don't know. And I think that there's still, I have a very strong draw to all of this DIY and the home improvement. And, we're getting ready to build a fireplace outside with cinder blocks and gas fireplace and all kinds of things. So I don't think, like, we have so many options, so many doors that I find excitement in that.
Yeah, which one do you open first?
Right. And in a place where logically there should be fear and panic.
Yeah, I felt the same way, just about being alarmed that there isn't fear and panic. And it's such a cool feeling to be able to, I think, have grown enough to appreciate the discomfort of the journey without trying to make it comfortable in a way. Where, not that it's uncomfortable, but it is uncomfortable to sort of, not have an assurance of anything 6 months from now. And it's oddly calm.
It is oddly calm. Like, it's going to be okay.
I think we just believe so hard. Like, we just know.
You feel it, that's why.
I feel it. Mm-hmm.
I really have no trepidation.
Trustful. It really is trustful. But the key word's trust. You have to trust as you're falling.
This is just one more indication and reminder that we are not in control. We just aren't.
There's so little you can control, which is really just yourself.
Yep.
And, your reaction to things.
Yeah.
Right?
For people that are listening that are not feeling the trust, like they're in the fall, but they don't feel the trust, what advice do you have for them? For instance, when you first found out that you lost your job, that was probably a little bit of a scary feeling. Maybe that's how they're feeling right now.
Yeah. I think allowing yourself to be angry. Anger is something I think today we stuff a lot of. It's not okay to just be visibly angry about something. But I think it's really important to let that out with a safe person. I actually have, Tina and I have a plan. I have an appointment with Tina to let some anger out at a situation. It doesn't have anything to do with her. But I just need someone to be able to let it go, because otherwise I stuff it.
She stuffs it,
and I can't do that either. That's not real.
She's been holding on to it for a few months now, and it is not. It's professional related, but it's something that she has tried to work through on her own, and recently has shared that, hey, I'm stuck here, and I don't want to be stuck here. And I need to unpack this. And I'm like, well, do that with me.
Yeah.
Well, you can be angry. It's okay to be angry. And it's, anger is part of grief. And losing a job, losing a career that, I have spent more than a decade in is a big deal. But at the end of the day, I know that there was nothing that I did. This isn't a performance issue. This isn't a aging out of my role issue. It's nothing like that. This is life, and this is business. And that is not something that I can control. So the mentality for me is, and it sounds so simple, and we have all heard it, and I'm sure it's super annoying to some people, but I actually love it. Control the controllables. You have to control the things that you can and let go of the things that you cannot.
Yeah. I remember losing my job. I worked for a healthcare system that we have here in the Black Hills, and I thought that I would live there forever. I thought I would just retire from there 50 years from now. And our whole department was laid off from there, and it was devastating. I remember how depressed I was, because I just loved that job so much. I was so passionate about it. And then I ended up having to go bartend for a while, to bring the money in.
Yep.
And then Murdoch Jones from Home Slice Media came in and said, "You're coming with me."
Yep.
That's awesome.
And here I am. And now this is what I'm passionate about.
Isn't it so amazing? Like, Amy, if you wouldn't have gone through that, you wouldn't be here at Home Slice.
Exactly.
And if you weren't here at Home Slice, we would not have met you. And this is what I'm talking about, is
alignment.
Yes, we don't know. I've talked about this on an earlier podcast months ago. Some of the best advice that I had ever been given was from my absolute mentor. I think he is one of the most incredible minds in the business of golf, and it's Dick Highland. And when I worked for him at Desert Mountain in that first year, he said, you never know how the next person you meet is going to change your life, or could make an impact, right? Could change your life. Be prepared. And I think that resonates into everything that I have ever done from that point. It's to be open. We live in this society of being closed off, of having this tunnel vision. People drive home at the end of the day, and they pull their car in the garage, and as they're walking into the house, they shut the door. Like, they close it off. I want to live in the neighborhood, in the society where you pull in and you don't go inside, you go outside. and you look to see who's around. And hey, Tom, how was your day? You know, oh, did you get a new bike there, Bill? You know, as the little 7-year-olds riding down the street, like, why do we not do that stuff anymore? And I think it has given me this bucket of tools to pull from when a situation like this was facing me. Is I have made all of these tiny little investments in connections. And now I know that it's gonna be okay.
Right.
Just like on the elevator right up here, the young lady that was in the elevator with us, we made her laugh.
Oh yeah, this morning.
Yeah.
She's
just those little connections you make with people as well. Like you always say, opening a door, anything.
Anything.
Yep.
Making eye contact with people. Like,
yeah.
Smiling when you say, hi, how are you?
I love that.
Little stuff.
It's just little, I don't know.
So we're walking through the trust fall. Well, we're falling. We're falling.
No, we're free fall.
We're free
it's
fall.
full on free fall.
So welcome everyone to the free fall.
But we have a parachute.
Yep. And when you trust the fall, it brings you to moments like this.
Yeah.
Hi, Jenny and Tina. This is Danielle Foster calling from the Medora Girls Golf Camp. I just wanted to say, as I'm driving across the entire state of North Dakota today, I had a chance to listen to the golf camp recap, and I just want to say thank you guys so much for all of your kind words and for giving your time and your talents over the Medora Girls Golf Camp weekend. It meant a lot to have both of you there. And I will leave you with a boom shakalaka. Thanks, gal.
Oh, that's great.
Yep.
What a great person
that.
she is, and what a nice memory. We hope that we get invited back, because you talk about a cup filler.
Yeah.
You know.
That was amazing. Just to impact the lives of young girls and maybe give them a tool or a life skill that they can take with them forever was a big responsibility, and we were very honored by it.
And
grateful for it.
All of those kiddos are going to remember you forever.
Yeah. Yep.
Good.
They'll remember the boom shakalaka.
They'll pass
if
on those
nothing
messages
else.
to
Yeah,
other people.
exactly.
They'll just remember I had great candy.
Yeah, for sure.
Whatever it takes. I'm not above bribery.
You know, if I can maybe close just kind of tying what we've talked about here and what Danielle's message was, and something that I had said on I think the last podcast from last week was, you know, if you're ever in a spot of things not going your way, you miss a turn on the road of life, or literally on the highway, and you have an expectation of where you wanted to go, and you're detoured, you're diverted. For me, and I know for Jenny, when those things happen, this is where you do need to get outside of yourself and go do something for someone else. And that little hit of kindness.
Dopamine.
It is. Yeah.
It sure is.
It is that little act of kindness is a little hit of dopamine that usually puts things in perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Boom shakalaka.
boom shakalaka.
Phone number, website.
605. Well,
No.
The-
844.
844.
605 life
Yeah.
or 5433. And questions, you can leave us a voicemail at questions@theunicornprojects.com, and you can send us an email at info@theunicornprojects.com.
And I'm glad that you just stopped me, because I almost rattled off my cell phone number right there.
That'd be hilarious.
That actually would. I wonder how many people would call or text. Do you think anyone would send a note?
What if no one did? That would be
I know.
horrible. I would text you.
Thanks, honey.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Let's put a unicorn horn in it.
All
Yeah.
right.
Unicorn.
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 Thank you for tuning in to the Unicorn Projects, hosted by Amy Rose with Jenny and Tina. Music by Caroline Kilty. Produced by Russ Haddon. Engineered by Chris Jaquez. It's the Unicorn Projects on the Home Slice Audio Network.